Good morning, guys.
Hey guys.
So it's Olivia and Gerardo. I always say Gerardo and Olivia, but anywho,
It's safe.
Yeah, it's Olivia and Gerardo
We're the
here.
Castanedas.
We're the Castanedas, and yeah, today we just want to discuss a topic that we have been asked so many times, which was, how's your experience at ministry school / BSSM? And for those of you that don't know, BSSM is Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry, and we attended there from 2021 to 2022. And so in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about it as we go about our day.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoy it.
Before we start the video, like, comment,
Yes.
and subscribe. And when you get done, you can totally share with your friends.
Yes. That would help us a lot. So
Yeah.
share it.
Yep, we'll see you in a bit.
My hair. Okay, so basically, that's the first questions that everybody asks us is, how was it? Overall. Huh?
Overall? I said overall.
Overall, it was a great experience. It was a crazy experience. With lots of things, of course, to learn. Not only at school, but outside of school. And as you go to school. I think there's a lot of things that I personally regret. I know that she regrets some things.
But there's also a lot we learned from.
There's also a lot we learned, definitely. So, in general, that's the basics of it. Like, that's the overall. It was great.
Now, like, some people ask, like, what did our day look like? And I think, like, an average day for us, because we just happened to live in the same, like, dorms. So that's where we lived. A local college rented out some dorms to our school. We went to BSSM, Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry.
In Redding, California.
And so local college there rented out some dorms to BSSM tenant, and we lived there on campus and ate like as if we were at college.
Yeah.
So normal day.
Not so great though.
Yeah, that was we regret that. We regret where we chose to live.
Food was not that great, and also the living situation was not that great
Now they
either.
upgraded it. If you know what I'm talking about and you're looking at like this place and you know like what we're talking about, then they upgraded it. So I don't know how it is now. Talk to someone who's living there this year. But yeah, so we would get up in the morning, probably about like 10:30, 11, somewhere around there.
Sometimes we woke up earlier.
Yeah, and we were dating and engaged during this time. So he was on the bottom floor, I was on the top floor of the dorms. But we would get ready and then we would meet together and we would go get lunch at the cafeteria. And then we would
rushing
sometimes and get it to
or
go.
sometimes we would also wake up earlier, do some homework, go get food.
It depended on what time we wanted to do our homework and what our schedule looked like. Like if we had a meeting, if we had an extra class in the morning or something, which was rare, how late we stayed up the night before, stuff like that. And so we did our homework at night though, and that's why we stayed up so late, is because we did it for hours at night. But we would go to school. School started at 12:30. We had to swipe our badge, and we would be there from 12:30 to 3:30 in main session, and then which consisted of like an hour of worship normally. An hour of worship,
and a half, sometimes 45 minutes.
Sometimes 45 minutes.
It would depend on
the days we woke up earlier were normally his praise and worship team days, where he played and had practice, and then messages, and then like a small break, and then another message, and then after, so we had they break the whole school up into like revival groups, and so after we would have like
in groups of
we
60.
had an afternoon schedule, so all of our classes were in the afternoon.
Some people chose AM, we chose PM.
And so our classes were basically from 3:45 to 5:30 every day. So we'd leave at 5:30, go get dinner.
The afternoon ones.
In the afternoon, go get dinner, And then after dinner, we would work on some homework normally. We would sometimes take an adventure. We would go on a drive. We'd go to the lake.
Or go to meetings.
You go to meetings.
It all depends.
Sometimes
on
I
the day.
had to work, and so sometimes I'd go to work. But that was basically the day. We normally, like, if we did homework, we would do homework till like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it would just be exhausting. And then we would hang out afterwards, and we would watch movies in the commons area until like 1 a.m.
Yeah. Sometimes earlier. It would depend on the day. It would depend
on the day.
how we would feel. But that's mainly what we would do. That's how our average day would look like. Some days were more exciting than the other days, but yeah. So that's basically our average day, or that was our average day in Redding, California. But okay, now we have to go. We have to go clean a house.
And if you don't see our wedding rings on, it's because we're going to clean.
Yeah.
We normally always wear them.
We got some friends call us or called her, and she was like, "Hey, can you come help me clean?" So that's where we're going right now. So see you in a minute. So one of the other questions we get is, what did we learn? It's a really good question because we were gone for 9 months and people want to know, actually.
And if you want to do BSSM, you really want to know it.
Yes.
I would say
Absolutely.
I would say that we learned a comprehensive, I don't know if that's the word for it, but a complex study. We had a mixture of theology, and then we also had a lot of personal experience. So first year is basically like a big encounter year, and you learn the most by experience. And so they wanted you to experience the presence and the love of God, and you'd be surprised how many students actually had not experienced that.
Yeah, so there's two learning experiences in BSSM or in the School of Ministry. You learn inside of school and you learn outside of school, of course, because God is not limited to a specific place. Personally, what I learned, again, is what she said, more in depth of the word, how to read the Bible actually, how does it work? We had homework. There was a book called 30 Days to Understand the Bible.
That
It was
literally
great.
changed.
Great. It was hard because there was a deadline, but it's really, really good. I fully recommend it. So we learned that. I learned how to hear God's voice clearer. I was in a class, there was friendship with God. It was great. So I learned how to be a friend, how to be a son, how to be a father, roughly. And then outside of the school, you start developing those things.
You learn how to interpret the Bible as well. How to actually.
Sorry if it sounds like Gary.
How to interpret the New Testament in the way of like, how did they write this in their time, and how can we relate it to us in our time?
Yeah, that's
and then
great.
you can also interpret the Old Testament in a biblical, well-rounded way, instead of being like, oh, God is a God of order, that verse, and taking it and being like, so I need to have everything organized, everything has to have order, and you can never have spontaneity to use it for your benefit. We learn how to not do that.
Yeah. So besides from what we learned at school, because we could literally make a whole video, but we're just kind of covering rough ideas just in general.
Just in case you're looking at going to BSSM, or you want to go to ministry school, or you just want to know, you're just a family member that wants to know what we did for a year.
Yeah. So mainly it was how to be a revivalist, how to carry revival out there, how to go to a church and be part of it and start being part of the community and helping, serving, which we're actually seeing the fruit of that now that we're here in Dallas and Upper. And outside of school, I personally, actually both, I think we learned faith. A lot of faith.
How to trust God.
How to trust God.
And how to put into action, actually, like, kind of like the fruits of the Spirit. Like, the Lord cultivates the fruits of the Spirit, but you actually do have a responsibility to put into action, like, self-control.
Yeah.
And so we learned how to use self-control.
A lot.
And we learned a lot in trusting the Lord to provide for us.
Yeah, a lot.
There was a lot of personal growth.
Yeah, a lot of personal growth. So like I said, we can fully make a whole video out of this. So if you're interested in that, actually just comment, ask us, and tell us, hey, can you make a full video on what you learned? Can you share your learning experience, your actually full experience?
Maybe we can do that and actually show you all the books we read.
Yeah, totally.
Show you kind of like what our binder looked like. Give you kind of an overview of what to expect if you were to be a first year at BSSM, at least in 2021. At 2021. It may have changed now a little bit, but the basis of what you'd be reading and looking at.
Totally. So, linked with our growth outside of school was faith and finances. So, I was international. I am not legally able to work here in the United States. So
on the visa, on the student
visa, on the student visa, I can't. So that was a very tough process. She was able to get a job.
Yeah, I actually, I didn't have a job for like 2 months, but I was so blessed with being able to go with my housing and tuition paid off. And so the only bill I really had to pay was my gas, and food, and like food if I wanted anything extra to go
outside from the cafeteria.
Yeah, and so I got a job with Bethel. I worked in the nursery part-time on Sundays, and then like a little bit throughout the week, and it just made enough for me to get by. It made enough for me to save for our wedding, and so we were able to work together on that. I feel like we did work together.
Totally. So basically our finances, it was not 100% up to us, it was up to God.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly it was God that provided for everything we needed. But yeah, that's what we can cover in finances.
And if you are, if I would say listen to the voice of the Lord on finances, because He will always provide for you. Like if He has sent you somewhere to not get a job or to not, like work to make money, He will provide for you. We've seen it over and over and over again. Yeah. And actually, we're planning on doing a testimony video to be encouraged. The best thing you can do is just watch testimonies. And we said that in our encouraging word last week, which we'll put, right here. But, so I think that He will provide for you. But I had the ability to get a job. And if the Lord had told him, like, hey, you can get a job like under the table, maybe cutting someone's grass, he would have completely gone out and did it. And he tried to do that, and that just didn't work. But for some people, there is an ability. Like, I also babysat during the weeks. I cleaned a house. I did some other things. And so there's different options of not only a job, because first year was definitely a full-time job in itself. Like, we were there pretty much all day, and if we weren't there, we were reading, like, or doing homework, or at another meeting. And so it is like, it's pretty extensive. And so I would say don't plan to have a full-time job. Part-time job will be either late at night or early in the morning.
It depends. It all depends on your schedule. You plan that when your schedule comes. So it all depends on the schedule and what God speaks to you.
Basically, the morals of that is to just
I almost fell.
To just listen to the Lord and follow His voice. But that's an overall, like, of our finances.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to leave the park. We just finished cleaning a house, and so, which is super exciting. But
oh, the sun is blasting.
Yeah, it is. I think overall, financial and what we learned, I think that'd be it. We'll do another video. Comment if you want another video about what we learned.
But yeah, you can let us know what would you like us to talk about. This was like a new experience. We wanted to take you guys during our day, just to be with us. But an overall experience of BSSM or school of ministry, it was great. It was good to learn about God. We learned a lot about God.
There was a lot of healing. I experienced a lot of healing.
Yeah, totally. We both experienced a lot of healing. So overall, it was great. Probably the craziest experience of our lives.
So far.
so far. We're against the sun. We totally recommend it, but also ask God first.
Yeah.
Just have some time with Him, and actually ask Him if you should do that or not.
Yeah,
if you should go to, because the School of Ministry is not for everyone.
Yeah, make sure that the Lord's grace is definitely on it. You have trusted people who have been like, yeah, go for it. I think this is great. Pray about it for a while. Consider it. Because you don't want to move somewhere and quit a job or something that the Lord hasn't called you to, because that's just not going to end well.
Yeah.
So make sure you're always following the voice of the Lord.
Yeah, totally. So that will be it for today.
Yeah.
So make sure to follow us, to comment,
To like.
subscribe, to
Okay.
comment, turn on notifications, to like the video, and follow us on Instagram. We hope you guys like this video, so just let us know.
Like if you like Chick-fil-A.
Yes, please. So, yeah, we're gonna see you in another video.
Bye.
Goodbye.